It's a 2016 F150 XL V6 NA. Customer says, when I hook the truck up to a trailer, I got no turn signals and I got no running lights, but when I hook the trailer up to another truck, everything works. Well, let's verify. Look at that. We got left turn. Well, let's check our right turn. Right turn. Well, would you look at that? Our right turn is working. Well, let's see if our running lights are working. Let's turn everything off and just put the running lights on. And we have running lights. So with that being said, let me show you what I found. The back side of this connector, when I unplugged the main plug-in that goes to it, I found a lot of water in there. A lot of water inside it. And this was plugged in there for whatever reason, I don't know, unless they were trying to just do the regular 4. Some people plug this in, think just disable the auto start stop, but this, I don't believe this has auto start stop on this truck. No, this truck doesn't have auto start stop. I'm gonna unplug it. I don't want it plugged in until they need it. Let's go up here. The fuse was blown. I couldn't find no low, I couldn't find no shorts, no nothing like that, no anything. And it was kind of confusing when you're looking at the diagram, because there's 2 fuses in here that have main control over the trailer, and they are not the same circuit as the lights. So if you think you're checking the same circuit as the lights, you're wrong. This 30 amp fuse and this 20 amp fuse are responsible for the trailer stuff. This 20 amp fuse supplies 2 load legs and 2 coil legs of a relay that are controlled inside the battery junction box. Why they would run that many legs or relay legs off one 20 amp fuse boggles my mind, which tells me if I was somebody, I'd probably try to run my own power and ground back there for specific situations. Man, that's not even right. I guess I'm just speaking more out of emotion right now than actually making. That to me just doesn't make sense. That's ludicrous to have 2 different relays that are built into the battery junction box that get constant supply, but also on the load side of the relay, the supply side, have to be supplied by this 20 amp fuse as well. Doesn't make no sense to me. If you're wondering what connector that is, what tester that is, this is from Amazon. And these poor people had, I'm talking the damn harness pulled down all the way down the truck, all the push clips out of the spots where they go. There was somebody been in this thing looking real hard. And it was just a 20 amp fuse. Right there, if you look, here's the body control module. And this is the battery junction box right here. We were out there in the battery junction box where the fuse was at. And look here, you got a hot leg that comes in. It says it supplies a 20 amp fuse and a 34 amp fuse, or a 25 amp fuse. First of all, they got that one fuse that's in there. This is fuse 35, this is fuse 34. They got that fuse right there in that box is the wrong size fuse. They got a 30 amp in there instead of a 25. That goes over to your trailer tow relay parking lamp. This here goes over to your trailer tow relay right turn, left turn, And these coils are actually built into the battery junction box. See, it says non-serviceable, non-serviceable. So this fuse was blown. But look at this. The supply comes in, goes through the fuse, goes out through this blue and red wire. It goes into the trailer tow relay. Right turn. Also on that same leg, when they're solid with just a dot, that means they're connected. It comes in. It has power supplied to that leg. That's deadheaded right now. There's nothing going on, but there's 12 volts waiting to jump across that and do some work, right? But this leg right here is completed. This over here, wait a second. So you mean to tell me this is ground side controlled? Okay. So I have power at this pin all the time. I've got power here all the time. I've got power at this pin all the time and power here all the time. So there's power waiting all the way back to the body control module on both of these legs here, all the way back. So at the body control module, it's connector 2280F, and it's pin 13 in pin 2, which is a gray-brown wire and a violet-orange wire. So this power is hot at all times through this. Comes through, stops there, goes over to the coil, comes all along this leg, goes up here, stops there. This power goes through here, waiting at that little pin right there. Comes through the coil, goes up to the body control. So power is hot here on these two wires at all times because hot at all times. Which means you got power running through these legs even when the vehicle's shut off. Which means if any part of the circuit is shorted somewhere on the opposite side of this coil, this is going to be flashing constantly all the time. But if it's on this side of the coil where it's shorted, it's going to pop the fuse because there's no load in between. If it's on this side of the coil and it's shorted, it's going to keep the turn signal running all the time for the trailers. It won't pop the fuse and it will never shut off even when you shut the key off. No, it will shut off when you shut the key off because then the body control module will take away this ground. The microprocessor will see that. No, it won't either. Actually, even if it was shorted on this side of the coil, it would continue to flash. So it would think that you want. But anyhow, this is the issue that I have here. Normally what they'll have is they'll have a 20 amp here that supplies power to this to this wire, and will come through here and it will energize the coil side, and then we'll have a second fuse that comes in, or power supply that comes in on the actual load side that will supply to the lights. And then you got all these different connection spots before you get back to the back of the vehicle at the connector. And then once you get to the trailer tow connector, it's got there's a ground back there that's grounded to the chassis. So left hand turn stop, right hand turn stop, and then this is the park lights, all back there in that connector. So it'll say pin 2, pin 1, pin 3. But that's it. That's how you diagnose it. Simple, easy circuit, not too complicated. I'll be blessed. Take care. Just real quick, I forgot to stick this in this video. Let me give you. So what the fuse looks like, it's one of those locks, those long box fuses. And so you guys know, the part number for AutoZone is BPFMX20RP.